Good morning. I'm Reverend Kathy. Welcome to Unity North Spiritual Center. Welcome to all of you here in person and those of you on Zoom. And happy Easter. Thank you. Here at Unity North, we are an inclusive community. We welcome and accept all people. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual path, you're welcome here. And we're glad you're with us today. We're also part of a greater worldwide unity movement. We are the publishers of the Daily Word magazine, and we've been holding 136 years of prayer vigil through Silent Unity, the prayer ministry of the Unity movement. So prayer is the heart and soul of unity. And always on Sundays, we have a prayer chaplain available right after service to pray with you. And today's prayer chaplain is Nancy Helvig. And if you're here in person, you can go find her or call her. If you're on Zoom too, give her a call. Her number will show up on the chat and in announcements. And for about the first hour after service, you can try checking in with her. If you don't reach her, she'll call you back. So thank you, Nancy. And our healing facilitator today is Cindy Huberty. No, wait. There she is. And if you need a healing or would like one after service, when you go out the door of the sanctuary, if you take a right, there's a Buddha fountain at the beginning of the hallway, and you can find her waiting there. And if she's not there and the door to the prayer room is closed, I think you can sign up, and they're about 15-minute sessions. So she'll be with you when she's done. Thank you, Cindy. And our production team today is Tracy Roloff and Martha Burkhardt. Let's give them a hand. And our worship assistant is Howard Grinsell. And I'll introduce our musicians in a moment, but today we're going to speak Unity's basic premise together, and I will say it first, and then we can say it together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. All right. Well, we have some wonderful guest artists here with us today. And I'm going to share their bios since some of you may not know them. Claire Vandekramert is an award-winning Minnesota-based guitarist, singer-songwriter, educator, and visual artist. Having spent over 40 years performing across the Midwest, her music crosses numerous genre boundaries and combines contemporary folk with flavors of blues, pop, jazz, and classical. Her first CD, Face to Face, released in 2000, was hailed by Dutch radio host Jos van den Boom, hope I got that right, of Crossroads BRTO Radio as folk music at its very best. Her most recent instrumental release, Patchwork, brings with it the fruits of more than 20 years of additional musical exploration and expertise. She's been interviewed by Minnesota Public Radio, appeared in regional television broadcasts, and performs actively in the greater Twin Cities. And she's here with us at Unity North to our great delight the first Sunday of every month. So let's give Claire a really warm welcome today. And we are thrilled to have Braden Canfield with us. He has been playing guitar, singing, and writing songs since high school. He has succeeded, he said, in maintaining this avocation through to his recent retirement. And most of his working adult life was spent in the field of social work, sharing his efforts between Minneapolis public schools and adjunct teaching at St. Thomas St. Kate's. He is a happy family man with one wife, 3 grown children, Yeah, I thought you'd catch that too. Just one. 3 grown children and 4 growing grandchildren, most of whom will be at Easter dinner right after this service. So this is his first time back with us in a year and a half. He was performing fairly often at Unity North, but he got very busy. So we've missed you, Braden, and we are delighted you were with us today. Let's give him a warm welcome. And now I'd like to...
Brad Larson, who made both of our guitars. He's right in the audience, right there.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. Welcome. So I invite you now to stand for our opening song.
I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? Peace and love live in my heart, a fountain ever springing. All things bright in God's pure light, how can I keep from singing? No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love is Lord of heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing?
Good morning. My name is Howard Grinsell, as Kathy introduced me. So we've been welcomed as a whole, as a community, and now is the time to just take a minute to acknowledge the individual. And so we'll just take a minute to greet each other, a nod, a quick wave for those online, for those here in person. If there's anyone new in our sanctuary here today and you'd like to know a little bit more about Unity North, please see one of us after service and we can get you the information that you might be looking for. Online, you can put your question in the chat and it'll be sent directly to us and held in confidence, and we'll get back to you again with any information that you're looking for. We are all blessed by each other's presence, and we are right here, right now. We got a little change in the program today because of Easter. So I'm just going to go through the quick announcements, the community news that we usually hold later in service. As mentioned, prayer chaplains Nancy Helvig, healing facilitator Cindy Huberty. The party program fundraiser, the deadline for submitting your party has been extended a couple weeks until Sunday, April 19th. Party program Sunday opens here on Sunday, May 17th. More info on how that party program Sunday works will be shared closer to the day. You can get all this information and the link for the submission form on our website. Easter Sunday, today, big thank you to Christine Grinsell for picking up the flowers and preparing them for our flower ceremony and for the wonderful decorations. We have a potluck service, potluck right after service today, and thank you to all the helpers who brought the food to share and help with setup. And there's an Easter egg hunt for the children. You will need to show your ID to participate. Okay. The next family drive-through will be Thursday, April 23rd at 5 p.m. Kathleen can be contacted for
Here, I
any questions
unmuted it.
you might have about that. As Reverend Kathy mentioned, prayer is the heart and soul of unity. If you wish, you may close your eyes and just breathe. I saw a message from April 1st in the calendar I have from Marianne Williamson, and it said, "We must hold to the conviction that the heart, not the brain, is the light of the world. The mind goes insane without the guidance of the heart." So let's begin our time of prayer by moving from the thoughts in our head to the wisdom of our heart. For the guidance of the Christ within, we offer prayers of gratitude. Through this connection, we find peace in ourselves, knowing this will bring peace to our home. Through the wisdom of our heart, we pray to share this peace with our community and send it out to our state, our country, and the world. We say another prayer of gratitude for the ability to stay strong when this world needs more peace. Knowing this can make a difference, we pray for ourselves and each other. So let us declare and pray out loud with me. I am healthy and strong, healed and whole, in my body and in my soul. Again, I am healthy and strong, healed and whole, in my body and in my soul. And one more time. I am healed and strong, healthy and whole, in my body and in my soul. We release our prayers in silence. We give thanks in advance for answered prayers, and we say, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. And let us remain centered as I pray the daily word. The daily word for Sunday, today, April 5th, is Easter. On this glorious Easter morning, I rise. Just as Jesus transcended death, turning pain into light and sorrow into joy, I too have the power to rise above any challenge. When I feel defeated, I rise. When I stumble, I rise. When sorrow weighs heavily, I rise. Each rising is proof that resurrection is a divine energy pulsing through every heartbeat and breath. this Easter, I behold with awe every sign of life's renewing presence, a kind word, a morning breeze, a generous impulse, a wave of gratitude. All are glimpses of Easter's restoring power, lifting me higher. Easter is not just Jesus' story, it is mine too. His resurrection is a reminder that the power to rise above struggle and limitation is alive in me. I am a new creation. I rise. From 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. So if anyone is in Christ, there is a new creation. Everything old has passed away. Look, new things have come into being. The daily word is Easter. On this glorious Easter morning, I rise. Let us prepare for meditation.
I am made of the light that hung the stars in the night. Perfect thought since time began. I am one with the love that's holding all of us. Its power in my hands. I am called by the voice that speaks of truth and joy, forever blessed where I stand. I am.
Today, our meditation experience is a walking meditation as we decorate the wreath with flowers. The wreath is a circle, the symbol of our earth, of our moon, of our oneness, our wholeness. Placing flowers on the Easter wreath is an affirmation that out of every ending, there is always a new beginning. Through this ceremony, we invoke the power of resurrection. With the beauty of the flowers, we are also calling forth our own continued blossoming. In a moment, you'll be coming forth from the back to the front, and it looks like the children may be first, and come down the center aisle as the ushers signal you and push your flower into the wreath, then return down the side aisles. We ask that you maintain a prayerful silence and let this be your meditation as we decorate the wreath and listen to the beautiful music from Claire and Braden. If you didn't get a flower, there will be an usher standing up here in the front who will give you one. And I think we have enough that you can take a second one if you'd like. So remember, we are calling forth the power of resurrection and or new beginning in our lives and in the world. So let us begin in silence now as we listen to the beautiful music and give thanks for our blessings of new life. Marianne. meditate together. This is from John chapter 20, verses 1 through 18. Now on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb early while it was still dark, and saw that the stone had been taken away from the tomb. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one whom Jesus loved, and said to them, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him." Peter then came out with the other disciple, and they went toward the tomb. They both ran, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. And stooping to look in, he saw the linen cloths lying there, but he did not go in. Then Simon Peter came, following him, and went into the tomb. He saw the linen cloths lying, and the napkin which had been on his head not lying with the linen cloths, but rolled up in a place by itself. Then the other disciple, who reached the tomb first, also went in, and he saw and believed, for as yet they did not know the scripture, that he must rise from the dead. Then the disciples went back to their homes, but Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. And as she wept, she stooped to look into the tomb, and she saw two angels in white, sitting where the body of Jesus had lain, one at the head and one at the feet. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" And she said to them, "Because they have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." Saying this, she turned round and saw Jesus standing, but she did not know that it was Jesus. And Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom do you seek?" Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you've carried him away, tell me where you've laid him, and I will take him away." And Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. And Jesus said to her, "Do not hold me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father, but go to my brethren and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went and said to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them he had said these things to her.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Reeds drifting by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn and a new day and a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossoms in the tree, you know how I feel. New dawn, new day, new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. The old world is a new world and a bold world for me. and I'm feeling good. La da 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 da, da da, dee da da, dee da da. La da 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 da, da da, dee da da, dee da da. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine. I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. New dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Thank you. That was fabulous. I love that song. You sound great together, don't they? Yes. Well, Easter is a joyful day. In Unity, we celebrate this day not just as a tribute to one man's journey over 2,000 years ago, but as a map for our own evolution. Today, as we reflect on the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus, we are not just looking at an empty tomb. We are looking at the empty places in our own lives where we may have felt hope had died, only to find that life is busy reinventing itself. We teach that metaphysically the tomb represents our limiting beliefs, our fears, and the dark nights of the soul where we feel sealed in by circumstances. The stone is the heavy weight of the material world, the belief that what we see with our eyes is the only reality. And lately that stone has been overwhelming for many of us. I think we might need a humor break. Why shouldn't you tell an Easter egg a joke? It might crack up. What do you call a rabbit who tells jokes? A funny bunny. I know they're bad, but they made you laugh. Right? Well, the resurrection is the lifting up of our consciousness. It is moving from a sense of separation to a sense of oneness. Think of a lotus flower. You know, it begins in the mud, the tomb, underwater in the dark. It does not fight the mud. It uses the nutrients in the mud to push upward. It does not become a flower at the surface. It was always a flower. It just had to rise to express it. This is our Christ nature. But who will roll away the stone? In the Gospel of Mark, the women wonder this on the way to the tomb. They realize the stone, though, is already moved. Often we spend our lives worrying about the stone, the debt, the diagnosis, the broken relationship, the past regrets, but the rolling back happens through a shift in perception. A woman who lost her job, her tomb, spent weeks staring at the stone of her bank account. One morning, she decided to stop praying for a job and start praying for service. She asked, "How can I be of use today?" And this shift in consciousness rolled the stone away. Within 3 days, an old contact called her for a project that turned into a career. The stone did not move because she pushed it. It moved because she rose above the level of the problem. So we have the power of Easter within us every day, and release and affirmation can draw it forth. So a release statement might be, this tomb of lack has no power over my divine inheritance. And an affirmation, I am the resurrection and the life of my joy or my health or my purpose. I am the resurrection and the life of my joy. I am the resurrection and the life of my health. I am the resurrection and the life of my purpose. A Sunday school teacher asked her class, what are the last words of Jesus? And one little boy raised his hand and said, I'll be back. That I'll be back is the Christ consciousness. It is the part of us that cannot be killed by a bad day, a rough year, or a hard break. We have to be willing to step out into the light. We cannot stay in the tomb because it's familiar. The light outside might be blinding, but it is where we belong. You know, when one large bell is struck, all bells of the same frequency begin to hum. Jesus struck the note of resurrection. Today we are called to find that same frequency within ourselves and start humming. We had a community song circle here with Claire and with Judy on Tuesday evening. About 34 people showed up to sing together. And it was to change the energy going on every day out in the world and in the news, to change the frequency and start humming a different note. The way to change something is not to focus on the problem, but to focus on the solution or on something else, something positive. So we are consciously shifting the energy. Jesus shifted the frequency of the Judaism of his day. The leadership had become rigid and unkind to the masses of people, not to mention the cruelty of the Romans at the time. A whole new note was struck that created ripples, ultimately heard around the world. That is what 8 million protesters just did in the largest protest ever across our country last weekend. Like striking a bell, they helped to create a humming, a whole new energy vibration that ripples forth. One of peace, of nonviolence, of love, of freedom. And we need to keep it going and trust that the higher forces of grace are with us to stop this current war and to help us to remember who we are. Sometimes we are reminded by Jesus, or we can say the cosmic Christ. There have been visionary encounters, often during prayer or crisis, and Christ in disguise moments when a stranger's intervention feels divinely timed. In recent decades, there's been a massive surge in reports of a global phenomenon of people having dreams or visions of a man in white. Common thread in these accounts involves someone in a moment of deep spiritual seeking or despair, seeing a radiant figure who speaks to them in their own language, offering peace or specific guidance. One famous account involves a man named Khalil, a former radical who sought to find the truth and claimed Jesus appeared to him in a dream, radiating a light that felt like pure liquid love, leading to a total transformation of his life path. And this is a true story of a physical encounter that felt metaphysical. A woman was at the lowest point of her life, standing on a bridge in a major city, contemplating ending it all, and a man she described as having eyes that saw through time, walked up to her, called her by a childhood nickname no one in that city knew, and said, "It is not time yet. There is so much more for you to do." When she turned to thank him a second later, The walkway was empty. There was nowhere he could have gone so quickly. For her, this was a visitation of the Christ Spirit in a form she could recognize. If you've ever seen the famous painting Prince of Peace, featured in the Google film and the book Heaven is for Real, you've seen the result of an encounter. Akiana Kramarik grew up in an atheistic household with no religious influence. At age 4, she began describing visions of Jesus and the light. She started painting what she saw, eventually creating a portrait of Jesus that she claimed was his exact likeness from her visions. I'll show it to you at the end of service. And you may have heard of her or seen it. And this painting of Jesus was done when she was 8 years old. It will blow your mind. Her parents were so moved by her detailed, consistent descriptions of a divine presence they had never taught her about, that they eventually underwent their own spiritual awakenings. You can read her story and see her painting on her site. And her name is on the slide as well, Akiana Kramarik. So her painting was stolen after it was shipped to an art agent, and it disappeared for 16 years. And finally it was recovered. I guess it had been held in a locker for many years. And eventually it sold for $850,000. But a man, while drifting in and out of consciousness, saw a figure sitting in the chair next to his bed. He did not see a biblical Jesus with a white robe. He saw a man who looked composed of sunlight. The figure did not speak with words, but broadcasted a feeling of all is well. The man's fear of death vanished instantly. He survived the illness, but more importantly, he lived the rest of his life with the resurrection of his spirit, no longer bound by the tomb of anxiety. We might say these appearances are the universal Christ, the divine pattern within all of us, breaking through the veil of our human perception when we are most open. Whether it's a dream, a vision, or an encounter, it is the Spirit reminding us, I am with you always. Well, I watched the Artemis 2 take off to my delight. I happened to turn on the television about 30 minutes before my final class in the World Religion series started. And it was just minutes later that they did the countdown. And I was so excited. It happened so quickly before class. And as it took place, I was immediately remembering July of 1969, when I was with my roommates and friends in my San Francisco apartment at the time. And my mother was visiting from Salt Lake, and we were all sitting around watching the moon landing. And I'll never forget it. It was such a moment. So watching the takeoff of Artemis 2 brought all of that back in a moment. And also the one that some of us saw that exploded years later, which was really awful to see. But I was holding my breath through the stages, and I felt very emotional, just overcome with the wonder of it. How many of you saw it? Just a few. I didn't even know it was going to be on then. I happened to see it, but it felt like another moment of a large bell ringing and creating a humming heard around the world. The cosmic Christ is the underlying intelligence and life force of the entire universe, the light that was present at the Big Bang and is present in every atom of the Artemis 2 spacecraft. Just as the women wondered who would roll away the stone from the tomb, humanity has spent centuries wondering how to roll away the stone of gravity that keeps us tethered to the earth. Artemis 2, scheduled to carry 4 humans around the moon, for the first time in over 50 years, is our collective rolling away of the stone. It represents a resurrection of our sense of wonder, a movement from looking down at our problems to looking up at our potential. When astronauts look back at Earth from the moon, they experience the overview effect. They don't see borders, religions, or conflicts. They see a single, breathing, glowing organism. This is a physical manifestation of the cosmic Christ consciousness. It is a knowing that we are one with the divine and each other. Imagine Commander Reed Wiseman and his crew, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen, as they approach the far side of the moon, the dark side. For a few moments, they are in total radio silence, cut off from the Earth. It is roughly a 5-day journey there and a 5-day journey back. And this dark side moment, we could call the Holy Saturday of the mission. It is the quiet, the void, the place where we think we are alone. But as they swing around to the light side, they see the earth rise. In the cosmic Christ, there is no dark side that is not eventually touched by the light. The Artemis crew is not just going to the moon, they are proving that life, the Christ Spirit, is no longer confined to one planet. It is expanding. And the same power that resurrected Jesus is the power that fuels the stars. We are made of stardust. Think about it. The atoms in our hands were forged in the heart of a dying star billions of years ago. This is the cosmic resurrection. Life does not end, it just changes form. A star dies so that a planet can be born. A seed dies so a flower can rise. Just take that in. And here's a little more cosmic humor. How does the man in the moon cut his hair? He clips it. Boo, boo. The therapist asks, "What's been up lately?" The chocolate bunny answers, "I don't know, I just feel so hollow inside." We'll have a groan contest here. It's one more. Why did the Easter bunny go to outer space? He wanted to find the extraterrestrial life. Okay, made you laugh anyway. Well, as we watch the Artemis 2 mission around the moon, let it remind us, resurrection is not just a story about a garden in Jerusalem. It is the story of a universe that refuses to stay in the dark. Whether it's a soul or a country rising from despair or a rocket rising from a launch pad, the message is the same. Life is infinite. The stone is rolled away. We are going home. So let us take a moment and look at this mythically for some deeper Easter insight. In a unity context, myths are soul maps, symbolic stories that describe our inner journey. And the myth of Artemis, the namesake of the moon mission, is quite amazing as it relates to the Easter story of the cosmic Christ. Artemis is the guardian of the wild and the light. In Greek mythology, Artemis is the twin sister of Apollo, the sun. While he represents the blinding light of direct spirit, she represents the reflected light, the moon. Artemis is the protector of the vulnerable and the lady of the wild things. On Easter, we recognize the Christ as the protector of our soul's wild and unformed potential. Artemis does not fear the dark woods, she masters them. She represents the part of us that can navigate the tomb of the unknown with grace and a steady aim. And Artemis is famous for her silver bow and arrows, which never miss their mark. In Unity, we talk about missing the mark of our divine potential. is the original meaning of sin. Well, Artemis represents divine focus. Just as the Artemis 2 mission must have a perfect aim to swing around the moon and return, the resurrection is the moment Jesus hit the mark of his highest potential. He showed us how to aim our consciousness toward the divine and never waver. Myth tells us that Artemis was born first and then assisted her mother in the birth of her twin brother Apollo. Because of this, she became the patron of childbirth. And this makes her the perfect symbol for the great birthing that happens on Easter. The tomb is actually also the womb. Artemis stands at the threshold of the new life, helping the Christ child within each of us to be born into the light of a new day. And Artemis is a hunter, but metaphysically, she's not hunting animals. She is hunting truth. She is the seeker. So we are sending a spacecraft named after the goddess of the moon back to her domain. We are hunting for a deeper understanding of our place in the cosmos. And just as Artemis navigated the deep forests by the light of the moon, we navigate the forests of our lives by the light of the Christ Spirit. We are not hunting for a God out there in the stars. We are hunting for the realization that we are the stars, expressing ourselves as humans. So the myth of Artemis also shows that the feminine qualities of intuition, protection, and navigation are just as essential to the resurrection as the masculine qualities of power and command. The cosmic Christ is the perfect balance of both, the archer Artemis and the light Apollo. So today, we gather at the threshold of the empty tomb. The stone is rolled away. We rise with the light of the morning star. And like Artemis, the ancient guardian of the wilderness, we have navigated the dark forests of our fears. We have held our focus. We have aimed our hearts toward the truth. Our aim is true. Our heart is one with the Christ. We look up to the heavens where the Artemis 2 mission circles the moon. We recognize the same spirit that guides the traveler through the stars is that spirit that guides us home to ourselves. From the earth to the moon and from the heart to the heavens, life is infinite. We celebrate the resurrection not as a finished story, but as our current mission. We are the risen Christ. We are the light of the world. Let us know this in joy. We are blessed. Happy Easter.
Wow. Wow. I love how you tied everything together so beautifully. And the jokes, they were good too. A bad joke can be a good joke. Yes, yes. I love groaners. Also known as what, dad jokes or something like that. Yeah. So, as you know, a lot of times I go down that proverbial rabbit hole looking for just the right song. And knowing that Braden was going to be here, I found nothing. And I wanted nothing that would accommodate both of us and Easter. And then I got the bright idea of, oh, let's try AI. So there's this fun little thing that you can do now on this program called Suno, where you put in your prompt, and my prompt was seeing the world with new eyes in a new light, and kind of an Easter theme. And you wait about a minute, and then it pops out. And so we worked this one up, and that's what you're getting today. We I changed one verse or one line of a verse, but pretty much it is as it is. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Morning on the hillside, sunlight streaming, quiet sky. I thought the world was small and hard till grace walked by.
New light, new eyes, see a face in every sunrise. Old hurt, untied, learning how to love in this new light, new light, new eyes. Brother, sister, side by side. New world inside, learning how to love in this new light. Used to draw the borders thick and dark in my own mind. Now I'm tracing softer lines where mercy shines. New light, new eyes, see a face in every sunrise. Old hurt, untied, learning how to love in this new light, new light, new eyes. Brother, sister, side by side. New world inside, learning how to love in this new light. Hand in hand at the table, bread and stories passed around. Every stranger turning neighbor on this holy ground. New light, new eyes, see a face in every sunrise. Old hurt, untied, learning how to love in this new light, new light, new eyes. Brother, sister, side by side. New world inside, learning how to love in this new light, new light, new eyes. See a face in every sunrise. Old hurt, untied, learning how to love in this new light, new light, new eyes. Brother, sister, side by side. New world inside, learning how to love in this new light. Learning how to love in this new light. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Like you said, Claire, wow. Pretty much every Sunday, there's an experience of education and a warming of the heart. And on some level, it's an experience that I take with me, as I know many of you do. And then every once in a while, there's a service that's on a whole nother level. And I think I experienced that today. Reverend Kathy, I know you put a lot of work and effort into this, into the lessons, and I know you would say you were divinely guided. I'm exhausted. I have been here and taken on a journey somewhere by the first song and brought back just in time for the meditation, and then sent away and back for the lesson and sent away. Beautiful music, wrapping that all up with the lesson today. I do need to mention, for those of you that are newer or new to the community, quite often I have to go back and revisit the service. There is a YouTube channel for Unity North, and if you go on there, all the services are listed. You just find the date and you can review it. And what I like about that is I can pause it, because I'll hear something and then I'm gone and I miss the next couple things that are said before I come back. And I don't know if I'm the only one that experiences that. So reviewing it on YouTube is very, very helpful, and you get to experience the music again. So thank you all for that. Now it is time to bless our offering. and all we have to offer. Those that support us financially, we thank you. There's a donation link on our website and a basket in the back to give in person. We bless those, of course, who share of their time and effort on the many programs inside and outside this building. And we bless those who are with us in person and online. So today's offering blessing is a repeat after me, please. I will say it first. I give in love because I love to give. Together, I give in love because I love to give. I give knowing that I will receive. I give knowing that I will receive. And one more time. I give in love because I love to give. I give in love because I love to give. I give knowing that I receive. I give knowing that I receive.
Simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, it will be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we will not be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right.
Thank you so much. So I want to thank everybody for today. Thank you, Martha and Tracy. Great job. Thank you, Howard. Wonderful as always. And thank you, Claire and Braden. You did a fabulous job. And I just want to thank our ushers who help in so many ways, and our usher coordinator, ushers, and everybody who's helped with our potluck, or what do we call it? Not potluck. Is it? Oh, it is called a potluck here. I get mixed up on the what is it? The casserole dish, the casserole, hot dish. I'm still trying to get that. All the years in California, it was casserole. Okay. Anyway, thank you to everybody who helped with the service today. I invite you to stand for our prayer for protection and our peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Peace.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let take. May this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternal.